Can somebody get Diddy? Has he lost his ever loving mind? Do you know that Diddy's team has a new defense? They're saying that Diddy's trial is going to basically make it about race. It'll become an issue during trial. Now, it's funny to me that the only black man that supported Diddy in his legal campaign, Anthony Rico, looked at what Diddy was facing and said, yeah, I quit. I quit. Good luck. And you need more time, right? And then we have Marc Agnifilo, Yana, it's about race. Now saying that a black man can't get it. Let me just say this, right? The argument that they are planning to make, and I'm going to say my thoughts and we're going to get into this argument, but actually, let me read this article because it's crazy. They said race will almost inevitably play a part in the prosecution of Diddy, and its defense team is banking on jurors focusing on why prosecutors have invested so much in, as Diddy's lawyers put, taking down a successful black man. Well, I'm sorry. I need to put some respect on Marc Agnifilio's name. Yana, why have prosecutors invested so much in taking down a successful black man? Well, because Mr. Agnifilio, this successful black man, was also allegedly involved in sex trafficking, prostitution, abusing, even involuntary forced labor for not just one, two, but a multiple people. Are you trying to say that because somebody is successful and they are black, are you trying to actually say that we should leave them alone? Because when you're poor is when there are laws and when you have to abide. But once you get those billions, baby, like what are you talking to? That's broke people's problems dealing with casual morality. Is this an argument that Diddy really wants to go on? I guess this is what Diddy has convinced himself is actually going on. It's not that he might be a suspected PDF. It's not that he might be a suspected a trafficker. It's the fact that they're trying to take down a successful black man. Listen, but even if we go by what Diddy is saying, even if we go by what Diddy is saying, we have to actually ask ourselves. And this is something like really important to ask. For everybody saying that, how dare you? You trying to take down a black man. And I think everybody is just the bots. Close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and imagine a world where Diddy is white. Now open your eyes. If Diddy was a white billionaire, would you want him prosecuted? If Diddy was a what, for all those people being like, it's a black man, because Diddy doesn't deserve to be called a black man. He is a predator. We kick him out of things. I don't care how many hits he made. I don't care how many that I don't care. I don't care. There are people equally better, more responsible, doing more for the community, being better fathers. The fact that we are literally worshiping someone because they have a billion, or is it the fact that you hope to be a billion one day so you can be a monster? But for all those people defending Diddy, I have a real question. If Diddy was white, would you want him prosecuted? If Diddy was white, would you think he had to go to jail? If Diddy was white, do you think that he should be out walking out? Because something tells me that if he was white, you would be the first people screaming, how dare you get him out of here? He needs to go to jail. So why, because someone is black, you are so tied into capitalism that you will want a predator in your community just because they look like you instead of working on all predators getting out of your community? Baby, charity begins at home, and I want my home predator free. Anyway, that's a long answer to your question, Mr. Agnifilio. So listen, TMZ says we get into it in the new documentary. TMZ presents a downfall of Diddy, his defense. It's available free on Tubi. Let me say this: TMZ are some wild people. Do you know that they put together a mock jury to actually see whether Diddy would be found guilty? And of course, the jury found he would be found guilty. Now, don't get me wrong. Defense and prosecution, when you have high stake trials, they often do put together a mock jury and they argue their cases in front of the jury. Privately, they pay for this. This is what the legal fees go to. And then from that, they decide they decide whether they need to change their whole angle or not. They decide, okay? Now, Diddy is probably doing the same thing. But the fact that TMZ really made a mock jury and then had the mock jury with no irony be like, we find him guilty. I just cracked up because Diddy is probably watching that off of a Tubi account on the internet, just mad, punching the air. Anyway, right? Why Debo from Soapbox says, so, yo, where's my oodles and noodle money, boy? Where is it? And Diddy is literally trying to text Christian, telling him to put more money on his books. Anyway, right? Criminal defense lawyers who have won some of the most high profile celebrity criminal cases weigh in on how race will become an issue in Diddy's trial. Everybody agrees that the defense will raise the issue. Yes, because he stood up there and told us that. Though they're going to do it subtly. As Johnny Cochran famously said in the O.J. Simpson trial, race plays a part in everything in America. But I would argue this: one of the reasons why Johnny Cochran was so good at defending OJ is because he was a black man in America, which means he knew the nuances. He knew how to read the room. Even as part of being in America and dealing with racism is you realize you have to present things a certain way. You have to appeal. One of the reasons why OJ's race decision was so powerful is because Johnny Cochran knew how to play it. I don't think Marc Agnifilo knows how to play that race card. And Diddy is so power drunk and mad and off his rocker, literally still literally torturing the rats and roaches in his jail cell and having them cower. And he'd be like, "Yeah, get to the freak off, you on her." Literally trying to use aluminum foil to reflect light so it looks like he has professional lighting. Those poor rats and roaches. Anyway, all jokes aside, right? I just don't think that Mark Agnifilo understands and can play the nuance of the race card, because when he tried to, and again, I don't mean to put the race card down. I mean the fact of talking about how race might have played a role in it, because I don't think he really understands race in America. And Diddy, I don't even think Diddy understands reality. Anyway, they said Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, says in the doc he believes the prosecution is squarely racially motivated. Okay, last thing. Um, Listen, I will say this, right? Uh, Listen, somebody said Donor Class Hero said, Don the Class Hero said, race definitely plays matters in this case, especially considering the perp targeted minorities as its victims. So sure, yeah, race is a factor here, but not the factor they're trying to pretend it is. Diddy probably thought in his racist mind that he could get away with exploiting mainly black victims, and I'm really hoping that he's wrong there and they finally get justice. All the victims who I've seen, whose identities are known, are black folks. So maybe he shouldn't pretend he's ever given an F about racial discrimination until it suddenly served them. I completely agree with that to a certain part, right? But to also say that the prosecution is racially motivated, then I would need for Mark Agnifilo and Diddy to show and name other SMEX traffickers that are doing the same thing Diddy's doing, but that haven't been arrested or charged by the federal government. Because as much as Diddy is screaming and hooting and hollering, the one thing I find very interesting is you won't stand up at all and actually name who else is doing what you're doing. Why? Because you're still trying to protect. You're still trying to protect, and you're still part of that secret thing. Anyway, y'all get where I'm going. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know, we are going to be covering the Diddy trial. It is going to be a time to be had. But yeah, let me know. I'll talk to y'all later.